Time now for our Eye on Education, brought to you by PNC Bank.
Well, 2 words, building bridges. It's not a cliche to describe this week's Eye on Education feature. It's the real deal for a group of engineering students from the University of Southern Indiana, putting their hearts and hands to work to make life-saving connections halfway around the globe.
Look at this. This is incredible.
When the river floods every year, the community loses access to essential resources.
Look at that.
These are all really rural communities. There's no way to drive. The majority of individuals don't have cars anyway. They walk everywhere that they go.
Engineering students from the University of Southern Indiana, saving lives in Africa by putting their skills to work to solve the getting to and from the problem, building footbridges to connect communities.
You'll have these centers where the school, the church, any sort of like grocery store or shopping, as well as medical care, are on one side of the river, but then you have individuals living on the other side of the river because it's primarily agricultural. So, they need lots of land, just like here in Indiana. They're growing crops, they're raising animals, and that takes up a lot of space. So not everybody can live right next to the school or the church or the medical clinic. And so those people that are part of these communities on the other side of the river, face potential death, drowning by going and trying to cross the river during those floody seasons.
Nearly 9,000 miles separates the USI campus in Evansville and Eswatini, a 30-hour plane ride, halfway around the world. Building bridges in that remote part of the world presents some big challenges.
We were having to just do things by hand with non-powered hand tools, which I think for all the engineering students is a really good experience to learn how to adapt when you don't necessarily have the perfect tool for the job. They just don't have the same materials and resources that we have. And so the students have to learn how to operate within that structure. We had, limited numbers of paintbrushes and limited amounts of thinner available to even clean our materials at the end of the day.
USI students like Jonas Hollis gaining real-life experience through the Engineers in Action program.
Overall, it was a really fun experience once I got there. You really saw how it impacted the community. There's just a lot of the bigger names from civil engineering side over there. So it's perfect if you're trying to find a starting job right after college.
The pride that they feel that now their community was no longer divided was just really, really important to them.
We would love to thank you for helping us build this bridge and providing us with access. May God bless you.
Really great program there. USI engineering students' next mission to build bridges in Africa this May, and it will take most of the summer to complete the projects.